everyone. Welcome for practice tonight. I'll give people a few moments to get on. If you're on already, hi. Glad you're here for practice. So tonight for practice, if you have a block and you've practiced before and waterfall is part of your practice and you know waterfall pose, feel free to use your block in that pose. But if you don't have a block, no worries. I will take us through without blocks tonight. And then you will need some sort of support. So if you have a bolster, use your bolster, or you can grab a pillow from your bed or a cushion from the couch, just anything that can help support you in our resting yin poses tonight. So if you don't have those things, go ahead and grab them. Also, if you have a blanket, you might want to grab a blanket since yin is a cooling practice, and especially for shavasana, you might want to cozy up in that. And if you have an eye pillow, a weighted eye pillow for the eyes, or just a sleep mask, you can feel free to use that just to help the eyes rest, which helps our soul rest a little bit deeper. So if you need to grab any props, feel free to do that. If you already have them, let's get started in our practice tonight. So we will begin in our waterfall. If you have the block, go ahead and do it. And if you don't, we'll start with legs up the wall. So for legs up the wall, bring your mat just on a wall or something comfy on the wall. Come sitting on the wall, scooch towards the wall. You'll lay down on your side, scooch a little bit further towards the wall, laying on the back, sending the feet up towards the ceiling, flexing the feet. The legs are slightly separated, so the legs are resting on the wall. I don't have a wall here, but you will at home. And then the arms go up above the head. If you have that eye pillow, you can place it on the eyes. Palms facing up, shoulders relaxed. Allowing the eyes to close. Coming to our waterfall. So finding your variation, you guys stay in your pose and begin to tune into your breath. As we're coming into our first pose together, start to notice the inhale and the exhale. Notice how you expand with the inhale and how you empty and contract with the exhale. Beginning to use the breath to arrive on your mat for your practice. Beginning to let any worries or stress start to fade away. Coming into yourself, being fully present with yourself for our practice. If you feel any shaking or trembling, maybe some twitching in this pose especially, it's your nervous system recalibrating. It's your body bringing itself back in to a rest and digest state. So most of the time in our lives, especially with the current state of the world, we are functioning in our sympathetic nervous system. We're in a fight or flight mode. And what that does is it overactivates our adrenals, which then dump on our kidneys and cause stress on the nervous system, stress on the body. So here we begin to allow this nervous system to calm itself. So if you have any of that shaking, like just when I just put my legs up on the wall, I could feel a little shaking. And that's just the nervous system releasing So really, if you feel any of that, try to stay present with it. Try to allow the body the space to clean out, to begin to heal itself. To really come into that rest and digest state where the body can restore and repair and replenish. So for those of you who have not practiced yin before, we hold our poses for 3 to 5 minutes because of the way it allows the nervous system to reset itself, and also because it allows our muscles to relax and allows us to come into our fascia, this deep connected tissue inside of our body. And in yin, the fascia is known as our life story. So we're literally opening up our life story, creating space, cleaning out. Also here in our waterfall, we're sending the blood in the opposite direction than it flows for most of the day. So it's coming down the legs, past the kidneys to be filtered and cleaned, then coming to the liver to be restored and stored, coming past the spleen to be transformed, and then this fresh, beautiful blood is coming to the heart and the lungs to be circulated throughout the body. In yin, the blood is known as our qi. It's our life force, our life energy. So helping to clean out and restore our energy, our life force. So you have just about a minute left here. So really flex those feet. Have the legs as straight as possible. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, the neck. Just allowing the body to be in your pose. Allowing it to clean out anything that's moving through. Let's take about 4 more full, deep breaths. Those deep belly breaths. And then with your next exhale, if you're in waterfall, you know how to release. If your legs are up the wall, slowly, slowly begin to bend the knees towards the body. Then we'll roll over to the right side, using the arms, coming up to a seat, and then just centering yourself on your mat, allowing the spine to rest. Bring the feet opposite sides of the mat, bring the knees to touch. The hands are by the side, palms facing up. Here we created all this space in the lower body. So we let the spine settle, we let our energy settle. Just a few deep breaths, coming back to neutral. And then when you're ready, rolling over to the right side, sitting up on the feet or on a block, and I'll show our next pose. So we're doing a pose connected with the full moon in Libra. So we're working with the heart tonight. So our first pose will be Sleeping Beauty. So you'll grab your bolster, your pillow, your couch cushion, and you're gonna come with the bolster on the side of the hip. So the bolster's on the side, the knees are bent. You'll stack the knees on top of one another, legs bent. Then you're gonna cross the feet. So I'll just turn so y'all can see me. You're gonna stack the top foot inside the bottom foot. So the top of these toes are coming into the middle of the bottom foot. It's helping to activate our kidney meridian. Our kidney 1 meridian is here in the middle of the foot. So the bolster is here, the knees are stacked, the feet are together. We'll inhale the crown up towards the sky, twisting the body. Exhale, walking forward, and we look at the opposite direction of the feet. So we're looking away from the knees. The palms are facing up, and you rest your cheek on the bolster. As you're here, we'll come back to the breath. And maybe play around with where the neck position is. It can feel a little uncomfortable when we first start doing certain poses, so just being with the discomfort, breathing in, creating space. Exhale, letting it go. Starting to allow the body to drop into your pose. Those palms facing up in an act of gifting, an act of receiving. And we're beginning to work with the heart. So tomorrow we have a full moon in Libra. And Libra is connected to the heart chakra. So to work with this energy that's going on right now, we're doing a heart-centered practice. So here in Sleeping Mermaid, we start to twist and open up the back of the heart, starting to activate our heart chakra. Starting to allow anything that's maybe stuck, any energy that's stuck, to begin to open up and release out. The heart is all about connecting with joy, connecting with love. So tonight in our practice, we're cultivating more joy and more love in our lives. When the heart is in its negative aspect, it turns into sadness and depression. And some of us might be feeling those things, those sort of emotions right now, because of maybe having to stay inside more or not being able to interact with people as much. So it's really important that we take this time to clean out any of those feelings that might get stuck here so they don't affect our heart. Taking 3 more full deep breaths. And then to release from this pose, you'll bring the head back to center, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, and lift up with a straight spine. You'll send the knees away from the bolster, plant the feet sitting up. We'll just take a few breaths before we go to the opposite side, allowing the body to come back to neutral. And then when you're ready, inhaling here. Exhale, drop the knees over to the opposite side. Stack that top foot inside the bottom foot. Activate that kidney 1 meridian in the middle of the foot. Knees stacked on top. Bolster comes to the thigh. We inhale up. Exhale, twist, coming down. Palms facing up. Look the opposite direction of your knees. Finding support. Using the breath to come into your pose. Like I said, the heart is what can store sadness or depression, loneliness, which is a big thing for a lot of people during this time of isolation. But we also have to remember, when we're working with the heart, or just in general, the most important love is self-love. So for many of us, we have the opportunity right now to connect more deeply with ourselves. This opportunity to cultivate and harness more self-love in this time of spending time with ourselves. And this year, 2020, is all about radical self-acceptance and radical self-love, radical self-care. So maybe thinking about how you can use this time to love yourself more and care for yourself more, which many of you are doing right now, just being here for practice. So really breathing into the back of the heart, allowing it to open, bringing in more joy and more love. One minute left, so allow every muscle to relax. Knowing there's nothing to do, only to be. Taking 2 more full deep breaths. Bringing the head back to center, walking the hands under the shoulders, coming up, knees go up, taking a few breaths. And then when you're ready, we're gonna move into melting heart. So for melting heart, you won't need any props, just your mat. And we'll start on all fours. And for this pose, we're trying to keep the hips over the knees. So just check in with yourself as we come into it, that the hips are staying over the knees. So you're gonna inhale the left arm up towards the sky. You'll exhale, tuck the left arm behind the right, send the right arm forward. You're coming down onto the side of your head. So the right arm reaches straight and the left arm is out. I'll show you guys on the opposite side. At shoulder height, the palm is facing up. The hips are still over the knees, and you're finding as comfortable a spot as you can on the side of the head. So maybe tucking the chin a little towards the chest, just playing with where might be as comfortable as possible. It might feel a little uncomfortable here on the sides of the head. Might be a little tender. We have Shen points here with spirit points. So sometimes we get energy stuck here related to our spirit. So if you're feeling any tenderness, just using the breath, breathing in, knowing that you're allowing things that no longer serve you to fade away. Coming into the breath here. So you can start to feel the sides of the heart, the back of the heart. Begin to open deeper. Also working with the shoulders and the arms. And our heart meridians, our heart energy lines, run through both of our arms. So here we're working with the energy lines surrounding the heart. We also have the pericardium and the Sanjiao energy lines that run in the arms and in the hands. And the Sanjiao is called the triple burner. It's all about distributing heat in our body. So distributing heat between the heart and the kidneys so that we can have an even flow and balance. And then the pericardium, which is, there's a very strong point in the middle of our palms, and it's known as the heart protector. So anytime there's an emotion or something happens in our lives where that emotion comes for the heart, where the depression comes, the loneliness comes, the sadness comes, the pericardium helps us to be able to deal with and handle it. It helps to protect the heart. So just allowing the arms to be in the position they're in. Allowing the body to release into your pose. Taking 3 more full deep breaths. To release, bringing the right hand back, release the left. Grounding through the left palm, send the right arm up towards the sky. Thread the right arm behind the left. Walk the left hand forward. Send the right arm out at shoulder height, palms facing up. The left palm is facing down. Tucking the chin towards the chest slightly. Finding as comfortable as you can. Closing the eyes. Coming back to the breath. Maybe noticing if one side is different than the other. How are you storing your energy? Where are you holding on to things in the body? This pose is also lovely for the heart because of the way that the brain feeds the heart. So the heart is known as the seat of intelligence. It's known again as the true brain. So a lot of times the brain, the mind can start to race, and sometimes it can take control, lead to chaos or panic or fear. But remembering that the heart is the seat of intelligence. And that when we feel those things in the mind, we can always drop down out of the mind and back into the heart. And here in Melting Heart, the heart is actually above the brain. We're in a slight inversion. So really allowing the love, the joy, the peace of the heart to come and rest in the mind. Letting the heart soothe and calm the mind. Taking about 3 more nourishing, beautiful breaths. And then walking the left hand back, releasing the right, coming back to all fours. Just sitting back on the feet, taking a few breaths. And in Yin, we always transition out of our poses slowly because of the way we're moving blood and moving energy. We want to honor what's releasing and moving, so just having a few breaths. And then we will move into down dog. This is one of the more active Yin poses that we do. If you want to make it more restorative, please feel welcome to use a bolster. If you have a block or even books in your house, you can just grab a stack of books and you can use the bolster and the block or the books. I'll show you this variation, or you can do it without, yeah? So we come from knees wide on the mat, big toes touching. Hands come about shoulder distance apart. Up on the knees, we tuck the toes, the hips go up and back. So if you have a stack, you might come and rest the forehead here, coming in to a more supported downward facing dog. Or, we're only going to be here for 3 minutes, so if you want, or just don't have props, we'll come again with the knees wide, up on the knees, tuck the toes, hips up and back, coming into your down dog. So finding a really firm base for yourself, sending the heels energetically towards the mat, shoulders away from the ears, strong torso. And since it is Yin and we don't want to activate the muscles too much, think about in the arms and the shoulders, stacking the bones on top of one another and using your bone structure to support you. Make sure you're releasing any tension in the head or the neck. And when you are as comfortable as possible, try to come into a place of stillness. Coming back to that deep, full breathing. And here, with the way the arms are, we're opening all sides of our heart chakra. So here you might imagine a beautiful ball of light emanating from the heart. Maybe it's pink light for self-love. Maybe a beautiful emerald green light, connection. Maybe a sparkling white light, connecting with Source. Using your breath to stay present. If you feel any of that shaking or trembling, using your breath to breathe in, using the exhale, letting it go. Knowing your nervous system is recalibrating. Knowing your body is cleaning out anything that no longer serves you. You have 3 more full, deep breaths. We're coming from this beautiful inversion, so slowly, slowly, slowly Begin to lower the knees, no rush to come out of your pose. Sitting the heels back. Hands can be on the thighs, palms facing up. Eyes stay closed. Just take a few breaths here. Letting all that energy settle, all your life force, all that movement happening in the body. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So when you're ready, we'll move on to our next pose, which is Heart Nidra. So we're going to use the prop that you have, whatever variation you have for tonight, and you're going to bring it a little bit down on the mat. So we want space at the top of the mat for our shoulders and our upper body. So you're going to come sitting on your prop, and the top of the bolster, if you have a bolster, make sure the handle is away. The top of it is going to come here in the middle of the back. So we're literally lifting up the heart chakra. So for women, that's about the bra line. So you'll slowly come lying down, allowing that bolster to be here, lifting the heart, lifting the rib cage, opening up your heart. You'll send the feet opposite sides of the mat and let them flop out to the side. And then the hands are going to come 90 degrees. So your elbows are bent at 90 degrees, palms facing up. Tucking the chin towards the chest to elongate the back of the neck. Closing the eyes. If you have that eye pillow or that eye mask, make sure it's on so we can let the soul rest. And then we begin to come back to the breath. Really allowing yourself to feel supported by your prop. Allowing every muscle in the body to let go. So this full moon is all about a strong need for balance and harmony. Because it's in Libra, which is the balancing scales, we'll be craving balance and harmony a little bit more, which can seem for some of us insurmountable because there isn't much balance and harmony going on in the world right now. But it is interesting to think about how this whole pandemic might be actually bringing the world back into a bit more harmony. Like the dolphins that are returning to the waters in Italy. You know, giving the world a bit more balance. But also in ourselves, the way that we can honor this energy, that we're craving balance and harmony. Thinking about what we can do in our daily routine right now, as we're trying, a lot of us, to make a new routine, to figure out a new way of functioning day to day. And maybe that's journaling some more, or a 5-minute meditation in the morning. But figuring out how we can have a little bit more of that feeling of harmony and balance for ourselves. Maybe taking a nice bath and reading a book, lighting some candles. And this full moon is also focused on relationships. So maybe it's making a Zoom date or a Google Hangout date with a friend from home, or connecting more with your sister or your brother or your family back at home. So just being aware that if you start to feel like you're craving that a bit more, being mindful of the steps that you can take, what you are in control of, what you can do to bring that more into your life right now. For our last minute here, just feeling that heart, feeling anything that you no longer want stored here to release and melt into the mat. Feeling yourself open up to more love and peace and joy. Taking 3 more full, deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll begin by bending the knees, rolling over to the right side, and use the hands and the arms to bring you up. Try not to use the back muscles. Coming back to a comfy seat, and I'll show you our next pose. So we're going to come into butterflies. So make sure you have that eye pillow or the eye mask nearby. Maybe if at this point you're wanting to grab your blanket and put it on, feel free to put your blanket on. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet to touch. And bring them as close to the body as you can. Bring them as close to the body as you can. The bolster or your pillow or your cushion is supporting the lower back, and we slowly lower down onto the bolster. Maybe adjust so the lower back feels supported. Placing that eye pillow or the eye mask on if you have it. And then the arms, again, if you were really liking bending the elbows, if that was feeling nice for you, feel free to do that again. Or you might have the hands by the side palms facing up. So you choose. And then since we're focusing on the heart, if you want to bring the ring finger together with your thumb in a heart mudra, working more deeply with our heart energy lines. And then as you choose your variation, begin to settle into your pose. Begin to come back to the breath. So here, here, we're working with the hips a little bit more deeply. And the hips are known as the seat of relationships. And since this full moon, being in Libra, is really connected with relationships in our lives, I thought we would deeply open the hips here to bring balance and harmony to our relationships. Also, you can feel the heart being lifted and being opened here. So we open up the front of the heart. We support the back of the heart. And again, you might come back to imagining that beautiful ball of light radiating from your heart center. Whatever color you feel here, maybe red for the heart chakra, maybe pink for self-love, with each inhale, beginning to feel this energy radiating from your heart, beginning to expand outwards, beginning to grow, maybe beginning to surround your entire body. Connecting with feelings of joy and peace and love. Maybe sending some of that love and joy to friends and family. Allowing the heart to open and expand. So as we move into the next few days of working with this full moon energy, we can use the breath to breathe through any stress that comes our way, using our time to tend to our closest relationships, and seeking to balance parts of our lives that may feel a bit imbalanced right now. For the last minute here, allowing the body to fully open into our pose. Being with that expansion of the heart. Taking 4 more deep, nourishing breaths. With your next exhale, you'll release the arms and then slowly bring the knees back together. And then just sit here with the lower back supported, the feet planted, palms facing up just for a few breaths. Allowing the body to settle. And then when you're ready, we'll roll over to the right side. And we'll set up for a deep, beautiful Shavasana. So as you're coming into Shavasana, if you don't have a blanket and you want one, feel free to get it. You can choose your variation. You might just come laying on your mat, or you might choose to use your prop to support the lower back. If you have any tenderness in the lower back, it can feel good to have the bolster underneath the knees. So you choose what's feeling best for you. Grabbing that blanket if you want it. And we'll come lying down on our backs. Bringing the feet opposite sides of the mat. Allowing the feet to flop out to the side. If you have your eye pillow or your eye mask, placing it on the eyes. Making sure that the lower back is in contact with the floor. If it's not, lift the hips and roll the lower back down. Allow the hands to be by the side, palms facing up. Tucking the chin towards the chest to elongate the back of the neck. Making sure the shoulders are nowhere near the ears. Making any micro adjustments to be as comfortable as possible. Remembering that Shavasana is the time for our bodies to absorb the nutrients of our practice. The time for us to completely release, relax, and let go. So bringing the attention to the top of the head, relax the top of the head. Relax the forehead and the eyes. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. Relax the mouth and the tongue. Relax the back of your head. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Relax the arms and the wrists. Relax the hands. Relax your fingers one by one. Relax the chest. Relax your heart. Relax your rib cage. Relax your torso. Relax the hips. Let them melt into the mat. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your ankles. Relax your feet. Relax your toes one by one, letting go. Relax your whole body. Let your whole body go. Beginning to bring the awareness back to the breath. Beginning to notice the inhale and notice the exhale. Beginning to deepen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. Beginning to bring movement back to the body by wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. It might feel nice to reach the arms overhead and send the feet long, giving yourself one last long stretch. And then
rolling over to the right side. Maybe taking a breath or two on the right side. And as you're ready, using the hands, slowly coming up to a comfortable seat. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. We'll meet with the hands at heart center. So bring the palms together and really press the thumbs into your heart center. Bowing the head and looking within the heart. We'll take a moment for gratitude for our lives. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining practice tonight. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your evening or your day, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thanks, guys.